All right, and here we are with a news out South Africa, that brother nation that has gone through a series of things from its formation. It is the nation of apartheid. It is the nation of great men like Nelson Madiba Mandela, Pixley Isaac Semei, Jacob Zuma, Sisulu, Bishop Desmond Tutu, many great men that have contributed to the African Renaissance mission, Thabo Mbeki, and to mention. But here we are not actually talking about the greatness of those men. We are talking about a matter that is rather classically, in a traditional leadership sense, would be a normal undertaking. But because of the standard of the leadership in that nation, it is a matter that is taken a little more seriously. The Falafala Farmgate scandal. And you see, it is interesting because Falafala is just the name of a specific farm owned by the president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa. And he keeps there his animals, and he's into farming very much, especially for buffaloes and Ankole cows. He likes those two so much, and even when he came to Uganda and bought a couple of them from President Yoweri Museveni, and that is a relationship we've built over time. And increasingly, Ankole cows are actually very expensive in South Africa. I was looking at, I think someone was mentioning that one of them can go to up to, I think, 600,000 rand. That is big money, and if we could really build into that brand and indeed make that trade work, it is one of the things that could benefit the farmers of Uganda. But getting back to the Falafala, take me there.
Well, it's quite interesting. I mean, we were discussing this a bit earlier, and I just found it quite interesting. Yeah, this is my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. Why would they want to impeach a president? Impeaching it's a very big deal. This is his farm. The money was found in his farm. Okay, I do understand there are some other things in play, but this money was found in his farm, and he got to discover that the thieves went to the farm to, whatever, take the money and stuff. But now, okay, this president undertakes having his own investigations, gets the suspects, and for whatever his reason, so he does whatever he does to the suspects.
So maybe let me give a background for the benefit of the viewers. So in January 2020, Arthur Fraser, who is a former intelligence chief in South Africa, walks to a police station to open up a case to the effect that President Cyril Ramaphosa had lost about $4 million from his farm. And they do say that he, in this particular process, he had kept this money in a chair, or what you can call a sofa, one of the sofas at his farm. And during the daily chores at the farm, one of the workers gets to see this money hidden. A South African worker who is a staff on this particular farm. He sees the money and is like, whoa, what is this?
And amounts of money.
Yes, and like I said, according to Fraser, $4 million. So what this guy does, when he goes back home, he has friends. This farm is in Limpopo, and this is a site that is near to Namibia. So what he does is he goes back home as he's in conversation with his friends, Namibians and other South Africans. He tells them about the money he saw at the farm. And this guy said, "You saw what? Are you serious? That much money?" And they say, "No, we have a plan. We have our friends who are stationed in Cape Town. We are going to talk to them. We come, break into the farm, get hold of that money, fly off with it to Namibia, and you join us there, and we have a good time, and we share this money." They agree. They plan. The colleagues from Cape Town come, join them. They break into the farm. They get hold of the money. They take it off. Some of them fly back to Namibia, some of them go back to Cape Town, and this guy stays at the farm working. But of course, this is a presidential farm, there is CCTV cameras, everything is captured on camera.
Yes.
So, long story short, the guy is arrested. He's by the head of security of the president at the time.
Yes.
And the president, first of all, instructed his team not to report to the police. He told the head of his security, get that guy, do everything you can so that he gives you the details of everyone that was involved in that, which this worker does. He reveals the identity and locations of the team that was in Cape Town. He also does review the identity and where the team that went back to Namibia could be found.
Yes.
So these people are found, tortured by the security team of the president. They had apparently cleaned some of the money, as they call it. You have to, because you either must declare the source of the money. If you cannot declare, then you have to go through particular processes to allow it to get into the system. They had cleaned a little bit of it. They still had the other bulk. They recovered the other bulk and took it back to the farm. So what happens even, so these people are arrested, not by police, by the security team, tortured. They realize some of the team is in Namibia. President Ramaphosa gets his phone, calls the president of Namibia, Hage Geingob at the time. He's now, may his soul rest in peace, he passed on about 2 years ago. Tells him about this issue and tells him, I want to get these people, they are in your country, but I want this to stay secret. President Geingob agrees. They go to Namibia, they get these people also in Namibia, torture them, and also say, please stay where you are. Now, even more interesting is that after torturing all the three groups of people, now they pay them to stay quiet, not to say anything about what has happened.
That's interesting.
And now all this information now is what Arthur Fraser brought to the police station to open up a case against President Ramaphosa. And one of them was, of course, they call it corruption, and the other was having money to that tune that is not declared to the state of South Africa. And long story short, a case is opened. Then when the Parliament of South Africa, remember they ran a mixture of a presidential and parliamentary system, but most importantly, because the president is elected in Parliament, they pick interest in the matter, and they institute a committee of experts to look into the matter and see if it can warrant the impeachment of the president. So the committee publishes a report. That report is presented at the floor of Parliament, and it is voted against. The majority of the members of Parliament vote against following the details. The report recommended the impeachment of the president, but the members of Parliament said, let us bin the bill, and that's what happened. So upon binning the bill, two political parties, the ATM and the Economic Freedom Fighters, led by Julius Malema, ran to the Supreme Court, seeking outbinning this bill, but also continuing with its recommendations. Now that is in Arthur reports in 2020. The report is binned in 2022. Now in 2026, the court's determination is, please retrieve that bill and continue with the process.
I'd just like to get your opinion on that. Do you think it's valid for him to be impeached because of that? Okay, yes, we have had some of these other things that probably raises a lot of concerns, a lot of questions. But do you think that that is something that is worthy of impeaching a whole president for?
Maybe I need to take you to the United Kingdom. The previous government, between 2019 to 2025, UK had 5 prime ministers. Boris Johnson, Theresa May, David Cameron, take it to 5, Rishi Sunak, in a space of 5 years. And this is unusual. And why were these Liz Truss was the 5th? And why were these people resigning? You become prime minister today, and somehow you fail on a specific standard of, for example, you go to parliament and you want to pass a particular budget, and your members say no, you cannot pass that budget. You resign. What am I trying to bring out? The standard of a head of state should be held in such high regard to the extent that they should not be involved in petty unlawful activities. Petty unlawful activities. Some things you've seen, you heard of the impeachment of Donald Trump. And what is it based on? This Excellency, before he even became president, had been involved with a particular sex worker. And now that was not the problem. That is legal in the United States of America. But what happens when he was paying for the services this lady, Stormy Daniels, offered to him? He paid the money through his lawyer at the time, Michael Cohen, whom, when declaring what the money was doing, they said it is money paid for legal fees to the lawyer. Yet it was just money going through the lawyer to Stormy Daniels. Now, they're saying, why would you lie about the purpose of this money? And you see, that was warranting an impeachment for a president of the United States of America. So, picking on that standard, if you're the president of South Africa, why do you have $4 million in cash, in a sofa, hidden in a sofa, on a farm, and you can't even explain where it came from? Now, of course, the president came out to say, first of all, he said, no, the figure, they have given a wrong figure. He said it was about $580,000 for him. That's even worse. And he said, yes, there was a theft. It was 580. It is true, I did not report. Maybe I thought I could handle the matter, just it was a minor issue. And when asked about the origin of the money, in his explanation, he said he had sold some buffaloes to a Sudanese businessman. And then they asked him, okay, if you sold them to this Sudanese businessman, how did he bring this money? $580,000 into South Africa without the knowledge of the central bank, without the knowledge of the police, and the transaction happened. You did not take the money to bank.
A lot of questions. Definitely.
You get, and you see, we are talking about a sitting president, and not forgetting that this is South Africa, a country where none of the presidents has ever completed their presidential terms, apart from Nelson Mandela, of course, who was in for only one term. But from Nelson Mandela, Thabo Mbeki did not complete. He resigned. Of course, he was towards impeachment. He resigned. Jacob Zuma resigned towards impeachment, again through actions of Julius Malema, by the way. We should also not forget that. Maybe the only president you could say completed was Motlanthe, but Motlanthe was president for just a year and a half. He just came in to complete the term of Thabo Mbeki. So you can't say that one, really. So all the others did not go through the process. And if you know that standard at the president of South Africa and the scrutiny with which people are going to be looking at you, you can't risk doing those petty.
I think we should have some of those rules here in Uganda, then we would have a better country.
Where?
Here in Uganda.
Here? Where?
Here.
Oh, okay.
Where you sitting. Oh my goodness. And of course, that has been our international news. Well, we could go on and on and on. This is a very interesting topic to talk about. But because of time, we have to see what's happening in our country. So before we head into that, let us see what we have in the Archbishop's moment.